Welcome to another edition of the Exciting Whites Podcast. I'm David.
And I am Kaylin.
And we're going to talk about white wine and everything else that's on the table. What are we drinking today?
Today, we are drinking a delicious, I don't know actually, because we haven't sampled it yet.
Oh,
sometimes we sample it.
Let's have a sample first.
Let me see if it's delicious
Usually
first.
we already have opened the bottle and have started having a sip.
It's delicious.
Well, that's very sweet.
Yeah, it's like candy.
Surprise over. It's mead.
It's mead. It's called Oliver. It's mead. Oliver Winery 2023 Camelot Mead. Orange Blossom Premium Honey Wine is refreshingly real, bright, and fresh with hints of sweet citrus. Perfected over 50 years of winemaking, surprisingly light and crisp. Subtle, yet sublime. Experience. With each sip, travel to a world drenched in honey blossom. Enjoy with creamy goat cheese or spicy fare.
I could see that.
Produced and bottled by Oliver Winery, Bloomington, Indiana.
Bloomington, Indiana?
Yeah.
This is made in Indiana?
Yeah.
Wow.
It is, yeah. Alcohol 10% by volume in this lovely 750 milliliter bottle. You can find yours at oliverwinery.com.
It tastes better than that entire state. No offense to anyone from Indiana, but
Oh dear.
it is our little brother right below us. We're in Michigan, and so
I spent an Independence Day in Indianapolis once.
Oh, did you spend an Independence Day there?
Yeah.
We ever so much enjoy it on Independence Day in Indiana.
I didn't love it because they had fireworks downtown, but they were blocked by every building.
I've never heard anyone say that. I've never heard anyone but an elderly person say Independence Day.
Yeah.
Usually people just say, well, we spent the 4th of July, or we spent
American
the holiday
Independence Day.
The holiday referring to that cross-section of the month, whichever it is.
Aliens.
Right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, you are definitely enjoying your own Independence Day.
I was independent on that day.
Do you want to kick us off today? Like a little soccer ball or a football or a sport ball of your choice, or not even a ball at all, just like a snowball?
A crystal ball for telling fortunes?
Okay.
That's interesting. Sure.
I know you like to ask a question once
I have
in a
a
while.
question for you.
I ask too many questions.
You ask enough questions.
Yeah.
I don't know about too many.
Mm-hmm.
People want to know about your questions. My question is that I've been thinking about. There have been a lot of TV shows that have just been out.
Yeah,
so
there
many
are many TV shows out.
So many TV shows. And honestly, people tend to like ones that I do not care for a lot of times. Like they're the most popular shows or ones that I would never watch. Has there ever been a TV show that you felt like everyone loved that you hated?
Friends.
And if so,
Friends.
Why?
Friends. Everyone
Why?
was attractive. But I didn't start seeing like people post about the nonsensical nature of that show until nowish times, like in the last 5 years, about how like impossible, like, you know how everybody jokes about the people that are on the show where two people try to buy a house on HGTV.
Oh yeah, they're like butterfly farmers.
Yeah,
and
they are like libraries.
Hodgepodge.
Like, literally,
like
everyone on Friends doesn't have a career or a real job, but they're living in like
$1 million
Manhattan.
homes, yeah.
You know, $800,000 a month apartment or some crazy high number in the city.
Yeah.
But the point is, the show's not even all of their real stats aside about it being based in reality. Yeah, I just kind of found like it wasn't funny. Like it's the kind of humor that just was kind of just like trip over something and fall down in the yard, or like, I don't know. It just did it, and everybody thought it was hilarious, and everywhere you'd go. And this is the worst part about shows, I think, like that, is like you go to like meet up with a group of people and everyone's like, did you catch the episode? You know, back then, TV shows were on like weekly, so people would talk about it, be like the water cooler conversation, corporate work. Did you catch the game last night? And if you're not watching the game,
You're like, no, I don't enjoy sport ball.
what game? And you're just like, yeah, it was a great one. It's like, no, I didn't.
Yeah, it's a
What about you?
tennis game.
You like
Me, so Survivor,
Oh,
I just felt like it was the same.
I never
and
watched
it just
it.
kept going
Never watched it
on
either.
No.
and on and on. I watched several episodes in the first season, mostly because
this is a reality show about.
Yeah,
No, it wasn't a reality
It was
show?
a reality show. When you
Is this
go
Survivor?
to
What's the one where they don't know anything? They land on the island and they don't know anything about
Naked and
it.
Afraid.
No, it's not a
Survivor,
reality
then.
show.
Oh.
It's a show that I think came out around the same time and didn't have a real good ending, and then it turned out like
Lost?
Lost. That's the
That's not the
controversial
show.
one where now everybody's like coming out and being like the directors and producers were awful and racist and like
Oh, of course.
yeah,
Doesn't
like
always
there's
happen,
a
but
bunch of
maybe
like,
it's true.
terrible stuff coming
But that's
about
not what we're
about
talking
the
about.
show.
Your
That's not what we're talking
Survivor
about.
is the one.
Survivor is a show that I didn't like, and it was
You didn't
it
like.
was mostly because it just continued on, and new seasons would happen, but it's
do
basically just
continue
the
on.
same show where just everyone's miserable and dirty and nasty, and like everyone's trying to compete and like get into groups and like eliminate somebody, and I just felt like it was just like a nasty show.
It wasn't a nice show.
It wasn't a
Was
nice
it edifying
show.
content?
It
for
was
you?
not edifying at all. My soul died every time I viewed it.
Whoa.
Not really.
Very,
That's
very.
exaggeration.
She's very Victorian today.
Yeah.
about
Anyway,
her.
I just felt like it was that same kind of thing as like every
Yeah.
episode people would be like, oh my gosh, did you see the last episode of Survivor? And I'm like, nah.
I liked Seinfeld, the few episodes that I watched, but I felt that the fans of Seinfeld, kind of like people who watch a lot of reality TV, is like they know so much about it because they're immersed in the world, and I had only watched a few episodes, so people would reference an episode, and I don't know what they're talking about. And so I felt like this
No
sort of...
super you. Get to the back of the
Well,
line.
like everyone knows, I actually never saw that episode, and people are like, oh, the no super you for all the time,
it's
and I
so
was just
funny.
like, oh, how annoying, and they probably are like... people would have this visible drain when I didn't know what they were talking about because now they're kind of like making the joke and like I'm the one that doesn't get it and
You
I'm just
don't
like
get it,
it's
so they're not
he's
funny.
a drain, like they're not funny, but like other people, the worst is when you don't get it and other people do and they laugh around you and you
And
just
you're like,
and now it gets turned around on you. Now you're the guy who's just like, what a drag. He doesn't watch Survivor. You
Yeah.
know? Who doesn't watch Survivor? You got one, Kevin, over there? How are you today?
I'm doing good.
Yeah?
I'm doing good. Thanks.
You
thanks
feeling
for
all
asking.
right?
Yeah, it's a sunny Thursday.
Yeah, it's a sunny day on Thursday.
Mm.
The regular crowd shuffles in.
Yeah.
There's a ladies. I almost said old man. This is the lyrics to Piano Man. Nursing
a lot of
her
people-
mildly delicious.
A lot of the things I
Oliver
talk
Winery
about,
Camelot
people might assume I'm
Mead.
an old man. So
What's your
I would
show?
agree with Friends, but I'm on Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah. The hospital shows like I don't know. What do
I
you-
normally like them.
Yeah.
Like I liked ER. I was really into House.
Yeah, I like
But
House.
Grey's Anatomy, I just hated every character on that show.
Like it was a show filled with unlikable characters.
Mm-hmm.
Was that the one that had the doctor that was the older guy that had the bug eyes that everybody thought was attractive? Or was that not? Or was that the one with Noah Wiley? Grey's Anatomy was the guy who played Steve Jobs. Was it that
I'm
one
terrible
he was in that?
with
I
actor
don't know
names.
about- I don't know.
Yeah.
And I didn't
okay.
watch a ton of it, but it would,
I know about these shows, but I never watched them. I think the last modern show that was on when those were on that I watched was like Law and Order. Chun, chun.
Ding, ding.
I'd get out of work and it'd be on after Maury.
Yeah.
You know, I'd just get out of work and eat a punch bowl of whatever cereal I had. My early 20s were really like a lot of just really irresponsible eating.
Wasn't Law and Order like on like in the nighttime?
It would start at, I
I
think
would
at
eat
6
like
o'clock.
cereal at that
Yeah,
time.
That's right. So it would start at 6 o'clock and it would run until like 10, I think,
Oh,
until
I
the
see.
news
I've
was
never met
on.
a single man. Most single men will eat cereal in the nighttime.
I
Really?
love a bedtime snack of cereal.
I would eat cereal when I would get home from work, and if I liked that cereal, I might eat the entire box in that sitting.
Oh, yeah,
so between 4 and 5
For
o'clock,
sure.
I would eat the entire box, and then I just would not have it in there. That would have been.
Would you
my-
ever? Was Lucky Charms ever one of those cereals that you might eat the whole box of, or is that just?
Yes.
I have a follow-up question now.
I'm one of those weird kids.
Would you eat the cereal and then save the marshmallows for last and just have
So
mouthfuls
you
of
could
marshmallows?
gorge yourself. My dental works screaming as I'm just like biting on every marshmallow. I don't think any. You ever eaten them that way? You eat all the brown cereal out of the Lucky Charms and then save the
I don't
marshmallows?
really like the marshmallow cereal. I'm like a
No.
plain Cheerios guy.
You can go to Shipshawana, which I believe is also in
Indiana,
and buy bags of just the marshmallows, the Lucky Charm
Oh,
marshmallows.
you can? How do they have such access?
Yeah, I'm not
They just-
into it.
Hold on.
do.
You said you're a Cheerios guy?
Cheerios or Raisin Bran?
Well, like honey nut Cheerios?
No,
just
plain
regular Cheerios.
Want to know the truth? I do like just a regular old timey cereal like that too.
But you put sugar on it.
Straight
I do
cornflakes,
not.
no cereal. Straight Cheerios, no cereal. No, just milk.
No
Sometimes
sugar.
I'll chop a banana up and put it
Yeah,
in it.
no.
No sugar.
The enjoyment of it is
Just fiber.
I'll even
Yeah.
eat an all bran or
Same.
a
You know what's
grape
good?
nuts,
Grape
no
nuts.
sugar. Grape nuts, no sugar though.
I'll fill the whole top of it with sugar and then put the milk.
If
and
I
it'll
want to
just
go full obese, I'll throw it in some yogurt, some of the grape nuts.
I
for
think
just
that's
haven't
healthy, isn't
now
it?
that I am part of the Brace Nation, I haven't enjoyed any of these delicious
No.
cereal. Is really one of the things that I've given up
It just
in the
gets
last
caught.
5 years. Just it just as a whole, because like Kevin was saying, it's so sugar filled.
Yeah.
And which is why you love it, because you're a sugar baby. But like the come on, sugar baby.
I eat a lot of Cheerios. Like just not even in milk, just plain Cheerios.
Just like a child.
Yeah, like a child.
Kevy Webby has his Cheerio
Sometimes
bowl
if I'm
filled.
feeling saucy, I'll mix a couple Apple Jacks in it. But yeah,
Oh.
I am,
Apple
I guess,
Jacks.
5 years old.
You know, they make apple Cheerios and they're delicious.
Oh,
the apple
they are
cinnamon
very
Cheerios.
good. Apple
I
cinnamon
like
They're hard
them,
to
but
find, but if you can
good.
find them, it's like they have a thing, fruit wheats they're called.
Fruit wheats.
You ever have a fruit wheat?
No.
Oh yeah.
Is it like
yeah.
shredded wheat?
It's shredded wheat with fruit in the center of it, and
Like gooey?
it is sort of hard, but not hard. It's kind of like the consistencies if you took a fruit roll up and like liquefied a fruit roll up and then let it harden in that liquid, in that form. It's like a fruit roll up, but not quite as tangy in the center. Like, so it's apple or strawberry or the blueberry. Oh,
It sounds.
it's so good. It's so
I
good.
like the apple Cheerios, but the problem with it, it's mixing a few Apple Jacks in is almost like compared to the Burger King product now, where
Throw an onion ring in
they'll
there.
throw an onion ring into your fries. Like, it's the mystery of like, maybe I'll get an apple taste, maybe I won't.
I don't know. This makes me want to eat cereal a lot more now. I will buy a cereal if I see one that's like random, that's attached to a cereal that I used to like a lot. Like, for instance, like Count Chocula, General Mills will release. Like, they had this
Yeah,
fruit
for Halloween.
Brute for Halloween,
Yeah,
a
for
new flavor in the line of Count Chocula, Blueberry, Frankenberry cereals.
My wife buys Count Chocula every year, has one bowl of it, and then it sits in the Tupperware cereal container that she buys for all the cereal
That's a
until
cereal.
the next Halloween,
Yeah.
and then she dumps it out and buys another box.
That's a cereal that if I buy the box, I'll eat the whole box.
Yeah, I'll eat the whole
The
thing.
whole
I don't
Count
like it.
So I
Chocula.
don't buy it.
Whole Count Chocula.
I don't really like a sugary cereal. I just
Oh boy, the one that is pure pleasure for me, and also is like wearing a medieval hair shirt, is Captain Crunch peanut butter. For me, peanut butter crunch is so enjoyable and such a delicious flavor, but the little balls rip the roof of your mouth to shreds.
I've given
And
up
regular
on
Captain Crunch does as
All
well.
Cap'n Crunch
Captain Crunch crunch berries
for that
are
reason.
delicious. I feel like a crunch berry and peanut butter together cereal, peanut butter and jelly, would be so good. A crunch berry and peanut butter crunch. Oh, why they haven't explored that, I don't know. And maybe they haven't. Someone in the comments can let me know and be like, your topic wasn't
Only
even
the
about
captain
cereal.
can
It was
make it.
about what your favorite
It was about
shows
your
were.
favorite shows were, but we've
cereal
already
is
talked
far
about
more
that.
interesting. Honestly, I find that the vacuous hole of cereal
Yeah.
is so much more interesting.
You
Like,
know what I found recently that has been really good for braces? Because a lot of cereals, like, I find are just too crunchy and big, and they're like
the
ruining
exciting
my
brace
braces.
podcast.
They started making like Trix and what is it? Cinnamon Toast Crunch and Cocoa Pebbles
Toast
and just a bunch of different other one cereals. Oh, and Lucky Charms.
You like Cinnamon Toast Crunch, Kevin?
Not really.
What
Tiny.
the hell? What
I
the
think they're called like
holy
mini
heck and hell.
bites or like something like that. It's minis, and they're just tiny, tiny little pebbles of cereal, and they're just small enough where it doesn't get like caught.
Oh,
and
they're baby
scratch
versions of the real thing. So
baby,
you can have the flavor
so
without
you can
all
have the flavor without the damage to your mouth, and that has been amazing. Honestly, it's been
with
really
the
great.
less of the masticative requirement.
Yeah, because it's already chewed up,
Yes,
pretty much.
I think
It's pretty good.
one thing is, for me anyway, I don't think there's a cereal I don't like. And the only cereal that I would give a criticism to that I don't like isn't even a criticism of the cereal itself, but of the living as a kid and being unsure. There is a Kellogg cereal that was basically cornflakes with little partially dehydrated pieces of fruit in it. I think
remember
Oh,
that.
Special K.
Special
Yeah.
K, right? With Special K strawberry. Have you ever had it?
Yeah.
It's good.
It's super great. If your milk is a little bit expired or sour,
Oh.
it has the same flavor as one of those dehydrated strawberries. And so if you combine a milk that it's possibly a little bit off, but you're not
Ew.
sure, with that cereal, it creates such a weird rhubarby sour taste in your mouth.
Why are you eating old milk?
Because we were poor. But anyway, when we had Special K strawberry. The point is that, we were a
That's
famine.
expensive. The
I don't know. My
Special K
mom, it's like
strawberry
my mom
is
would
expensive.
see. We didn't have a ton of money, but my mom was like, she's like me. Like she sees a cool cereal, she's gonna try it. Like,
I mean, yeah, I guess.
but she would eat one bowl of it, or like Kevin's wife is saying, she'd eat one bowl, or Kevin is saying about his wife, one bowl, and then the box would sit, and all my delicious cereals would run out. This is exactly. I just realized. I just had a childhood epiphany. The reason that I enjoy old-timey cereals like Raisin Bran and Corn Flakes and all that stuff like regular Cheerios and Grape Nuts is because when my delicious Captain Crunch or Honey Smacks or Honeycombs would run out, I would eat all the other cereal that was in there that my parents had. They had their own cereals. And I remember my dad would come home and be like, who got into my wheat checks? Yeah, I dumped a half a barrel of sugar on it, but I loved wheat. But as I've grown older as an adult, the flavor of the wheat check actually is one that's grown on me too. I'll eat a straight wheat check, milk, no sugar now. Just the flavor of the wheat is like that grain taste.
I don't know about that.
What do you mean you don't know about that? You eat potatoes. I hate potatoes, and you love potatoes, and it's because potatoes have this earthy taste that people like when mixed with other things. So like a baked. Do you like Life cereal?
Yeah, but not really. I only like the cinnamon Life. I don't like regular Life. I just like cinnamon Life.
Regular Life is sort of got a little bit of cinnamon.
No, specifically cinnamon
I understand.
Life.
That's the beige one. The beige
Beige.
box.
Beige.
box.
It's like yellow, I think. It's
Canadians
like a
say
yellowish
beige.
box. I like that one. I like the sugared cereals, and I think it's just because we weren't allowed to eat them except on weekends. Because we would just like go spastic and like and like not be able to
Bad for you.
Yeah.
How's the mead treating you?
I like
The
it.
glass is much more full than mine.
Well, I'm trying.
It's not a race, but don't be racist.
Yeah, because I'm trying to like. The last episode was a little bit like woo, and so I'm trying to just like.
Oh, you're trying to ease on into it, huh?
Ease into it.
Well, let me ease you on into this.
Oh, yeah?
Since we're there.
Since we're there, here,
This
there,
is
and everywhere.
a new thing that I've put together for the show. I'm going to ask both of you, and so I'll ask both of you to let me finish until the end.
Oh.
I'll ask each of you. Actually, I'm not. I'm not going to ask each of you. What I'm going to do is I'm going to ask 2 scenarios, and then I'll ask each of you which of the scenarios you have to pick. There is no disseminating of extra information other than you have to pick one of these. I'm not giving you. There's no setup here. There's no weird torture or no family member will die if you pick one or the other. There's no consequence. I'm telling you this because
But you
always,
have to pick one.
or the other.
So these are already going to be a consequence, probably.
Would you rather have a needle half pushed under the fingernail of your choosing, right?
No.
Or fall from 25 feet?
How
the
long
ground.
does the needle stay in your finger?
There's no minutia. It's just one or the other.
See what I mean?
So, all right. I mean, put it in.
Let's just say that.
I guess I'll poke my
just for
needle
fun, just
into
to
my
answer the
hand.
question, because an answer
The needle
immediately
easily.
came.
Needle, obviously.
The answer came to me immediately, but the needle will stay in as long as it takes a person to fall 25 feet to the ground.
I hate
needle,
heights.
obviously.
Needle.
The needle.
You take the needle and the fingernail.
Yeah.
I'll fall.
It's not about the
And
fall.
I hate heights, and I'll fall.
It's not about it's not about the fall. It's about my body breaking at 25 feet. I know that I would never recover from that
I
because
feel
my bones are
that
made of paper and glass.
The suffering of that needle going in halfway. So you're talking about a needle. You're talking about an inch of it under your fingernail, fully into your finger, stabbed in there.
Yeah.
That is excruciating, guys. I don't know if you've ever had a sliver even go partially. I was working on something. You know that Kevin knows that I've hurt myself many, many times. He's watched
Every
me.
project we've ever done together.
He watches, and you've seen me. I get hurt whenever I'm trying to build or create or construct something. I always
Yeah.
get a cut or something because it's just the nature of working with things and materials that don't necessarily want to be worked into something. But one time I was trying to pull up some sheeting, like flooring, and replace it. I put a sheet down the wrong way, and I was pulling it up. And as I pulled it up, a piece of the board, right, so the plywood, it's all just like glued together. That's how they make it. It chipped and flew off, and I didn't get the board up all the way, and the nails didn't push down, so my weight pushed it back down. And as it pushed it back down, it went on a 2x4, and it jammed this way across this finger. It just went through this, not all the way out, but just this part. So like just through this part of my nail, deep on a diagonal.
Yuck.
I have broken bones. I have been in car crashes. I've had some dastardly stuff happen to me. You guys both know that. I have never felt a pain so acute and so severe. And so for me, I will take the fall from 25 feet because I know that pain.
I know that if I fall from 25 feet, that's imminent death
You
for
feel like
me.
a Humpty Dumpty scenario?
Yeah, they would
just
not
a-
be able to put me together
just a
again.
cracked
So I'm
egg.
just going to take the needle under the
25 feet onto the grass of your lawn.
death.
Death. And you?
Needle.
Needle still. Staying with the needle.
And I hate needles, but
Yeah.
it wouldn't even be the fear of like hitting the ground. I don't like the fear of like the whole feeling of falling. It's probably why
Right.
I don't really like roller coasters all that much.
I like the feeling of falling. I don't mind that. I don't even mind the height. I mind my bones being broken and my face
Yeah.
smashed in and probably like some TBI.
You think automatically you assume that you could,
Death.
You could be hurt for sure.
I mean, that's 5 of me. Like, what would that be? 25 feet? Is that like 3-4 stories?
25 feet?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
25 feet?
Yeah. 3 stories at least.
3 stories. No, girl. Slow your roll a second. If you're 5 feet tall,
It's 5 of me.
right, it's 5 of you
Yeah.
stacked up.
Yeah.
But you're not that tall. So if you're in a normal size house, what is it? 9 feet ceilings in new houses? But
Yeah,
old
around
houses
there.
have shorter ones,
So
right?
10
8
feet
foot?
is the second floor.
2 of
20
you.
feet is the third floor.
Right.
Plus an
no,
additional 5 feet.
First floor.
That's 3.5 floors.
First
Dead.
floor. The distance
Dead
from the
for
first
sure.
floor to the ground is 10 feet, let's say. 20 feet is the same floor
the
over
second
again.
floor.
So it'd be 1.5. It'd be 2.5 floors. So it'd be 1.5
Top
stories.
of the second floor means you're like 3
Two-
stories up.
It'd basically
Like
be
an
like
attic.
if you're relating it to where we're at now, going up to this floor and falling down to this one.
No. No.
It's the ceiling of that
the
floor and
ceiling
falling
from that
down.
floor to the floor of this one.
Absolutely
in this
not.
building.
I'm
Yeah.
going to poke a needle through my finger.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I understand why, because I'm picking the same thing.
Yeah.
I
I
get
do
it.
not wish to be mush on the ground. And
I feel like I am hardy enough and have fallen enough. I'm going to take the fall on
I'm
that.
not hardy at all. I am.
I don't have a life alert.
Yeah, I
Good
don't
enough for that.
exactly.
I've fallen instead of a needle.
I don't want to die.
Would you like to play a game? Came over and I fell. Like, or I have this weird needle in my hand injury.
Yeah.
The needle's gone, and so is the man who put it there, but I chose.
Yeah.
How about be electrocuted for 10 seconds or be held underwater for the same duration?
Obviously held
Electrocuted.
underwater.
Electrocuted.
10 seconds underwater?
Electrocuted.
I can hold my breath for 3 minutes.
Electrocuted.
Wow.
Well, when I'm doing the Wim Hof breathing exercises,
Oh, the Wim Hof.
I feel like there's a
You
very
do the
big
Wim
difference
Hof
between
breathing
being-
You're just
exercises
being
while
held
you're
underwater
on
for 10
Independence
seconds.
Day
You've
in
never just
Indiana?
gone underwater for 10 seconds?
but I'm not being held.
No one's gonna hear that.
Well, if they give you the option, you're being
And I've been
held under for 10
electrocuted. It's not that bad.
seconds.
You electrocute for 10 seconds though.
I don't know. how
That's
long.
a long
So-
time being
so-
I
electrocuted.
feel like drowning would be terrible. So no.
You're not drowning. You're just being held underwater.
My breath isn't that great.
I mean, I'm asthmatic and I'm still going underwater.
I think I'm taking the underwater too.
all right.
I have been electrocuted.
I'm ready for a shocking experience.
I guess.
It's like a dating profile. Kevin's dating profile, if he was single, would be like, and here's Kevin, and he's looking for a shocking experience.
I want to know
I
what
know-
the listeners think.
I want to know.
Let
I
us
I'm the
know. Would
reason
you
why
rather be
they
drowned or
sell those little
electrocuted?
plastic pieces for outlets for kids? Because when I was a kid, I put a key in one,
And
and
you're
it
like,
shot me across the room.
oh my gosh.
10 seconds of that.
And you enjoyed that, huh?
I don't remember it. I just
You're going to
know
ride the
story.
lightning.
You just know
Yeah,
it was cool.
I do like that album, so yeah, I think I'm all right.
I feel like choosing
I
a
will become
Metallica
one with
album for
technology.
your choice of torture is a wrong reason to choose that. Right?
I've been pulled underwater on a tube for 10 seconds, and I thought I was gonna die. So
Yeah, I guess. If you've had a bad experience, so this is it. For me, I've had the thing under my nail, so I am going to react much. If you've
Yeah.
had an experience with it,
No,
heights
but
and
you know
drowning,
that you
I
could
don't
make
like.
it through that. Like, you got through it.
I did get through it, but I feel that a needle, an acute piece of metal, that feeling for me is going to live a lot longer in my mind than say if I break an ankle or a shoulder or something falling off.
I know I'll never recover.
I never recover. My body simply will disintegrate into a mushy mush.
No, I'll just I already have joint and bone
She's like a
problems.
Pokemon. She'll
I'm
hit the
just
ground and
not
just
asking for more of them. Yeah, I'm like a Pokemon.
You could show all the future generations, like, I got this one for taking it there and falling off a building. Like,
I'm good on that.
yeah.
I've got scars. It's fine.
So you're going with electrocution.
Going with- yeah.
He's the only
I got
one.
the power.
We're both going to take the underwater.
Underwater.
Here's
10
to
seconds.
agreeing, which is rare on this show for us.
Mm.
I'm the odd man out.
You
That's
are the
okay.
odd man out.
But that's all right.
Would you rather be punched in the face by a pro boxer with no glove on, or have your foot driven over by a semi truck?
Definitely foot driven over by a semi truck.
No shoe.
Wait, one tire or all the tires? Like the whole.
So here's what we'll say. It's a tractor trailer with no load, just the tractor. And it's not the front, it's the front big tire. So it's all of the way to the engine over your foot. And we'll say the physically fit driver inside.
What does that have to do with anything?
I just thought I'd make him attractive for you. You know what?
Oh, yeah. Maybe then he could come out and be like, oh, no.
She's physically
Young
fit.
woman.
Physically fit driver for me.
Oh, no. I can't believe I did that. So I'm going to take that because I think.
Get out of here, you lot lizard. Like yelling.
Because it won't be evident to my face, which will never recover.
Like, why
I'm
are
trying
you
to
around
think
the
of which thing
semi-truck?
will never recover, and I'd rather it be my foot than my face.
So if Mike Tyson was like,
Yeah, I don't want a TBI. I don't.
another TBI, like what is it? Can you tell everyone what that means?
A traumatic brain injury. I don't want that.
That acronym I don't think is interchangeably used in regular conversation much.
Is it not?
No, I don't think outside the specific medical
Outside of the
application
medical field?
or in the insurance agency. I don't feel like that gets
I
bandied
just
about.
don't
that.
want
It's
a
not like
Walking down the
traumatic
street the other day, I
brain
saw a grandma
injury.
fall and have a TBI. You know, I mean, people just, I don't think it's like,
I mean, it's easy.
you drive a Jetta TBI?
Listen,
like,
I've hit my head so many times. I don't want to make it worse. And I know that Mike Tyson coming out and professionally punching me in the face is not going to be good for me.
I like that idea of professional punch.
It
Like,
is.
You know?
I mean,
Like,
as opposed to like a random,
as opposed to like a slow arcing sort
St.
of like
Patty's Day
elementary school
drunken bar.
St. Patty's Day.
Yeah, St. Patty's Day drunken bar punch that I
The one
accidentally
you can see
step
coming
into
from
or
another
whatever.
zip code, yeah.
Yeah, like not that, but a professional Mike Tyson punch, I will probably not wake up. So I'm going to go with the foot being run over, and that way I can sue and maybe like get some kind of recompense for that, but
You see
also
what
be
I
like
mean?
alive
She's-
in my
she
head.
just adds a whole level of complexity
Yeah.
to the choice. That's interesting. So for you, You don't think you could sue the professional boxer?
I could, but I might not be able to do it myself because of my traumatic brain injury. Like I might be reduced to
she'd need one of us to go after
I'd
the
need
boxer.
a lot of help for the rest of my life. And I think for my foot, maybe I can't walk ever again, but maybe it heals. And either way, I can sue and get some money for it. And like maybe my foot is flat like a pancake.
And it was funny. Weren't
only
you
one of them.
raised not sue happy? And in other episodes, I feel like you talked about.
Oh, I was raised that way. That doesn't mean I agree with it at all.
At all.
At all. I think everyone should be sued for everything wrong that they do. Just kidding. I don't think so.
So Kevin,
I don't think private businesses should be sued.
You would take a punch in the
Yeah.
face. Interesting.
Yeah. And the reason being is like obviously I'm given two options, right?
Yeah.
The punch in the face is a way cooler story. Like if you took a punch from like a professional boxer and
Yeah.
like
In the face.
She's assuming that you won't survive or that her nose will break.
you're gonna survive.
She
it's
likes
not
her
gonna be
nose.
fun.
I do like my nose. I wasn't really worried about my nose breaking. I just was worried about my brain.
Well,
Yeah,
Death.
I would take the punch. And I think it would be not a cool story, but a cool story.
like if you took a punch from somebody,
I'll take a fruit punch from Mike Tyson.
what if it's in his hand?
Does he have to punch it into my face?
He's like,
No. I'm good.
I'm not going to do his voice. I want to, but
Don't
I'm just
do
going to
it.
leave it alone.
Don't do it.
Because I respect him as a boxer. And so I feel
Yeah,
like
I hope he beats Jake Paul.
Oh, yeah. So we are dating this episode now. By
Whatever.
saying that
I
has
don't
been
care.
announced. Yeah.
Go Iron Mike.
Yeah.
We
I
film
have
a
to
few
cheer.
episodes
He
ahead.
can beat Glass
so
Joe. I don't care.
I have to go ahead. I think for me, I think I'm going to have my foot driven over by the semi-truck in this one. And the reason is, you'll remember, so Kevin's bachelor party.
I won't remember.
I remember.
But
I
he'll
was there
remember.
because I was the chairman of the board, I was his best man. And so one of our former associates who had too much to drink this particular night wouldn't give his keys up. And so I tried to stop this person from driving away, and they inadvertently drove over my foot with an SUV. And it did some damage.
Yeah.
But I feel like
But you recovered.
I did recover, and I do feel like I don't want my nose broken again because I didn't get a hump from the first two times it happened. So I feel like I got lucky. And so at this stage of my life, I feel like I might not recover as good, you know?
Yeah.
And I wouldn't want like a big, rhino hump in the middle of my nose because it's aquiline now.
You're like
You could
Rocky and
have
Rocky
you
5.
could have a
like you're done
surgery to
fighting.
fix it, though,
like I
you
just-
know?
yeah,
Gotta
I
hang
just-
it up.
Yeah, I'm like Tommy Morrison there.
Yeah.
I just kind of just walk around like brr forever, you know?
I mean, but maybe you could just get, rhinoplasty and it would be fine.
So
and
could
then
you
have a
take
cool-
the punch then?
I'm not trying to get a TBI. I don't
you
care about the nose.
TBI, look out.
I'm just saying, like, I can go to
There's
the hospital
TMI
and
about
get
your
my.
TBI.
TMI.
I can go to the hospital and get my foot fixed. I could go to the hospital and get my nose fixed,
Your
but I
foot's
might
so
not be able to
little,
get my
somebody
brain
might,
fixed.
it might fit between the treads.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping.
Little boxed foot.
Yeah.
Like an Asian lord's wife. Her foot is only 3 inches by 3 inches.
3x3.
Yeah.
It's a cube.
But it's a real thing. In the Chinese culture, some of the dynasties would box women's feet.
Oh,
The
I know. I
Japanese
just
culture.
read it. Like,
Small,
if you had a
3 by 3.
3-inch long foot, you were more costly as a bride. If you were 4 inches, you're like,
Not more
okay.
costly, you were worth
And
more as a bride, you mean?
Right, and 5
you were
inches.
buying them
5
from
inches,
Costco.
nobody
I
wanted
just like
you.
she uses that's like the same language that a regular person would use towards a flat screen TV. You
Yeah.
use towards buying a dynastic bride. Like
Yeah.
she's a more costly one over there, but that Sony over there is
No,
on
I
sale
I
this
watched
week.
these
Went to
interviews.
Costco, picked up 3 brides.
Yeah, went over there and picked that one. Her feet were only good 4.5 inches, man. I tell you what, I got a deal on that one. Normally goes for $999,000, but I got that one there for $999.99. I got that one for $800. Got that 800.
No, I watched some interviews
Beautiful
about
4-inch feet.
women that they were like the last surviving people that had their wrapped feet.
They look mummified though. They're like
Oh,
they're
yeah.
stunted. They
Well,
look terrible.
you have to
because they're not
break-
actually small feet.
You have to break the big toe, and it folds under, and then the rest of the toes grow into the foot like this. So it's basically just looks like this, and it's horrific. But a lot of those
my
women,
God.
Fist foot.
yeah, they were talking about how it's kind of sucked because it was super painful, but they
Can't
didn't have
kick
to do
anything,
anything.
probably.
Like
Can't
people
walk.
carried them around.
Yeah, you can't
and
walk,
like
I
you
was gonna
couldn't
say.
do any sort of chore, so you had to have somebody else do it, and you were just treated like a queen all the time because you couldn't walk.
I shared one with her, another Asian delicacy that was done, a female one, was the geisha would stain their teeth and royalty would stain their teeth
Oh, black, yeah.
And black teeth was a sign of being affluent or being,
Now it's a sign
influential.
of mess mouth.
Now it's a sign of I'll take the semi truck over my foot. I feel like that one I'm gonna recover better from, and if I don't, I do too many technical things with my face and my hands, and I feel like I don't know. I've been punched too much. I don't want to be punched again.
Yeah. So let us know if you're watching on YouTube or whatever. Let us know in the comments what you would choose.
Yeah, probably not drink a whole bottle of mead and then get punched in the face. Also, that would
I mean,
probably
it might help.
It would definitely help. Would you rather be bit by a tiger non-fatally, or bit by an alligator non-fatally? You may choose where. Whoa. This is for one of those rare times on the Exciting Whites podcast where everyone is stunned into silence.
I'm just.
How relaxed.
I just
everyone
have
I
is.
don't
two
have a
videos
preference.
playing over in my head. One is from Tiger King, where that person gets their arm bit off.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
And then the other one is not a person, but I watched this video of this old guy who jumps into this pond or whatever to get its dog out of an alligator's mouth.
Yeah.
And that seemed way more harsh.
And then he ends up in the alligator's
The
mouth?
alligator. seemed more harsh?
He rescues the dog. It
You
was a
think the
small
alligator's more
alligator, but
And it bit him or no?
no, he like grabbed the alligator and like got the dog out of its
Great,
mouth
but
and
you don't
threw
get
it
to,
up.
you don't get to do that. You either have to get bit by the alligator, but they just whoosh,
I'm
and
just
rip
saying
your
it
arm off.
looked
No, he's
way more
explaining his
harsh.
decision.
I know.
Have you
But I
made a
think I would
decision?
go with the tiger, not the alligator.
Okay, so one devil's advocate to play here is, which one do you think has the stronger bite per square inch?
I have no idea.
Alligator.
The alligator or the tiger?
Alligator.
Really?
You would
Yeah.
be actually incorrect. The tiger per square inch has
Well,
a
I saw a tiger and tiger saw a man.
Tiger saw me.
tiger did see man and he ate him. And with a bite per
Cringer
square
would
inch,
never bite me.
double that of the alligator. The tiger can actually crunch and break bones, whereas the alligator's bite is meant to grab and
Clamp.
hold
And
on,
then they spin you and drown you.
around. So the alligator bite is the lesser of two weevils here.
But that's like
I
a
heard that
dinosaur
weevils
biting you.
wobble, but they don't fall down.
That's true, but
It
the
is
lesser
true.
of two weevils.
Yeah.
I don't know.
What are you going to choose? You choosing the gator? Or you choosing the tigra? Which is you choosing?
I'm trying to think of how many teeth a tigra has. Like, if it bites,
El
how many
tigre
puncture
many
wounds that
teeth.
would be versus the alligator, which has, to me, it seems like a lot more
Double
teeth
rows.
with punctured.
You would so the grinding damage from the, let's say you stuck your arm. Let's say you let both bite your forearm. The grinding damage superficially to your arm from the gator, if it's allowed to swing you around inside the water.
Wait,
and
is that
it's
going to happen too, or is it just like hump and then done?
Well, I think for this illustration, it's
gotta be
just
a-
and
just
then
a
done.
hump and
So as
done.
hard as they
Hump
can
and
bite,
done.
Yeah, I feel like the tiger's just going to basically bite your arm off.
and
The
that's-
alligator
Yeah, it
is just
might
going to
crush
inflict more
my
damage.
bone.
Yeah, it'll-
Probably both situations you're going to lose the arm.
well, maybe not.
I wouldn't choose an arm. I would choose a foot again, because a foot is the least I can be carried
affects your
around.
ability to walk forever. If you let your foot get bit off by a tiger,
Well,
which animal?
Not having an arm
Which
affects my
extremity
ability
is
to
less
do
important
literally
than which
everything.
animal you're choosing?
I feel like I could get like what do you call them? What amputees
A peg
get?
leg?
A peg
pirate.
leg. I could literally have a peg leg.
That's me.
Like
You'd
a
be like
pirate
Lieutenant
peg
Dan
leg.
and get magic legs.
Magic legs. I got new
Those
legs.
are magic legs.
You got
I've got
new
magic
legs,
leg.
Lieutenant Dan.
I am
Yeah,
the pirate Kaylin. You will
I probably
come to
would
my
just get a
well.
peg leg.
Yeah, but then you have to go to like their wedding and then stand the whole time because you can't sit down.
She just clack about. Cluck, 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 cluck,
Yeah.
cluck, cluck.
Because that's the
probably
saddest scene in
Sorry,
that whole
Kaylin. Do you think
Forrest Gump
you
movie.
and your leg? Now your leg would take on its own persona. Would be Kaylin and her leg, like your +1. Like they wouldn't offer +1s to any wedding invitations
Yeah.
she get because it would be Kaylin already has a +1.
I think I'm
Kaylin
gonna
and
have,
her leg.
I'm gonna have the alligator bite my left foot.
Okay.
Because I tried hopping around on my left foot when I was like putting lotion on my right foot, and and like trying to find a sock, and I realized I didn't have one. I was hopping on my left leg, and I'm like, this is very poor. But I can hop on my right leg, so I think I'm gonna have the alligator bite my left foot.
I mean, but what you're saying is your choice is to never walk again.
As opposed to never do anything with my hands again.
There's other things you could stick in there.
You could have a hook.
Well,
I can walk. I can walk on my peg leg or on my bouncy peg leg.
So you don't have to choose a foot.
Athletes have those bouncy peg legs. What are those called? Just like prosthetic bouncy things.
Yeah,
I'll get one of those. I'll bounce around. It's fine.
Yeah. I don't think you'd get one.
You got paid for one.
Those are for people that are like, thank you for your service. It's
not people who chose to get their foot butt off by elective
I think that
reasons.
you can get one.
I don't know.
Maybe they'll take pity on you because you're so small and innocent.
Yeah, I'll be like, an alligator bited
I was bitten by the mosquito. I would take the gator bite. I would let them bite right here on my leg because it is
meaty.
Mostly meat and sinew, and so the gator bite would lacerate. I would lose a lot of blood, but if I survived that, I would be fine. In the case of a tiger bite, as I always said, the bite per square inch force is more and might shatter your bone, and then your leg comes off, and you have to do a lot.
Should I have the
I've been
gator
bit by a
bite
house
my
cat.
thigh
That wasn't
then
pleasant.
instead? Or would I lose
Your
the
choice
whole
is your
leg?
choice. You're going to lose your foot because you wanted to lose your foot.
What if I lose my
You
thigh?
have succumbed to whatever.
Yeah, and you already lost the other foot to some semi-truck. So
Right.
What if it's the same foot?
Well, no.
It just runs over that left
See,
foot,
I don't think
and then
you'd
the
lose your
alligator
foot to the
bites the
semi-truck.
left foot.
I think
Wouldn't.
if your foot was run over by a semi-truck, the faster it was going,
the better. Instead
well,
of
that's not true.
it's not.
No, because the tires generate heat, which is why Formula One, race cars, they jag like this back and forth, is to generate heat into the tire and get it warmed up. The hotter the tire is, the more sticky it is, the more grip you have, and the faster you can go. If a semi-truck's been rolling down the road for hours and rolls over your foot at 70 miles an hour, I mean, that tire is going to be nice and hot and rubbery, and it's going to stick to your foot and possibly
The
tear.
tire will stick to my foot?
Yeah, it possibly tear the skin.
What if I'm wearing a shoe?
No, it's a bare foot.
A barefoot. I mean, it is what it is.
I said that. I said barefoot, no shoe.
Whatever.
Pro boxer, no glove.
Yeah.
All of these things are awful.
None of them are delightful.
They're not fun.
And that's kind of the whole point, which brings me to the last one, which is, would you rather have an arm amputated or lose one of your eyes?
I'll lose an eye. That's easy. I can barely see anyway.
Whoa. So always dark. One-footed,
Yeah.
one-eyed.
So dark. You're the one asking if I'd rather lose. What was it? I forgot. I didn't even care about
An
it.
eye or an
Lose
arm.
An arm. I would never want to lose an arm. Losing an eye. I mean, I can exist like this. I've known plenty of people with glass eyes. Easy.
All right, well, we know her answer. What's yours, dude?
Yeah, I think I value my arms more than I would value an eye.
Yeah, and I can get a
In
glass
your case,
eye,
too,
and no one
because
would
you
look at me
also-
like,
My vision's terrible, so I mean,
Yeah.
You guys share that in common.
yeah. I just get a glass eye, and it wouldn't be super obvious.
oh, if I had a glass eye, I would make sure it is super obvious.
Just get like a red one, like.
I hate that I'm going with the eye as well because I have great vision, but I think losing an extremity.
You wouldn't be able to play guitar anymore.
Well, if I lost an arm, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
there's several things I couldn't do. I couldn't do most of what I like to do
Yeah.
with one
Right.
arm. In fact,
Exactly.
most of my hobbies would come to an end.
And I don't do anything with my feet
This
except
would
for
be
like
should become a
walk.
daily show because I
Fine.
wouldn't have anything else.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be able.
You'd be able to look at things though, but
I-
you wouldn't be able to do anything.
I'd be able to look at everything with one arm. People live that way though, and I'm
Yeah.
sure I'd get over it.
And if I lost an eye, I could wear a patch, and I'd have my peg leg. I would just be pirate mode all the time.
You'd be like the mysterious samurai character that what's her name played in Kill Bill. Wow, that's an actor that I haven't thought about in a long time. What is her name? She has a man's first name, a typical male name. Gosh,
I can't think of it, but I know
Who?
exactly what you're talking about.
have you ever seen the movie Kill Bill?
Yeah.
She's the one who has her eye ripped out, and then she fights. Uma Thurman in that scene in the trailer, and she plucks her other eye out. You're going to look it up. That's good. Because Kevin will look it up and tell us what her name is. It is, drum roll, please.
This internet does not want to work.
What internet? No internet. I'm going to arrive at it before he can look it up at this rate. It's, she was in the movie Splash. She played a mermaid, as well with Tom Hanks. Going back, because she was probably in her late 40s when she was in the movie. Anyway, she had an eye patch. She was cool looking with the eye patch, but she lost her eye to her kung fu master that she disrespected in training.
She shouldn't have done that.
Right, but the point is, she could
Never
still be.
disrespect
So you could
kung
still
fu
be a
master.
really good assassin. You know,
But
and
I wasn't a good assassin,
with one eye.
so I wouldn't.
No, I'm saying
Yeah,
with one eye.
it's Daryl Hannah.
Daryl Hannah. There it is.
Daryl.
It's a man's
Yeah.
name.
Yeah.
I knew it, but I kept thinking Bobby Brown for some reason, and that was a different person, both a different
Well, that was
hip hop
his
artist
prerogative.
and a
And a
different
makeup
woman.
company.
Yeah, and a woman who was
Right?
in the
Baby Bobby Brown.
Warrant Cherry Pie video
Oh yeah.
and dated Janie Lane for a while. How did I know that? Guitar World magazine from the 90s, of
Oh,
course.
wow.
She was indeed his cherry pie.
So everybody chose the eye. Let's drink to this.
The eye.
A unanimous
Cheers.
choice that we
Kevin
would
drinks
take
his
the eye.
Mountain Dew.
Which
Yeah.
of these, in the comments, let us know, which would you choose of all of those? Because there are quite a few terrible. They're all terrible. I mean, no one really wants any of that. But, yeah, anyway. So, let's say you didn't lose a foot.
Great.
I was standing in the bank, which unfortunately I have to go to sometimes still as a member of a high-functioning
man.
societal, upwardly mobile man. I went to the bank, and in front of me was a smartly dressed, I would say she's probably, I don't know why I have to reveal her age or why I assessed it, but I always do. But she was dressed professionally, and I guessed her to be in her early 30s or late 20s. A woman standing in front of me. And she was talking to the teller about like their financial guy, or if they had somebody in charge of investments or whatever. I couldn't tell if she was selling something to the bank or if she was asking for it for service. Anyway, these heels were cool. They were red on the bottom.
Oh, like Louboutins?
Yeah, and they were black, but she was standing probably like that. And I just looked down and I thought, those are nice shoes. And I thought to myself, those can't have been cheap, probably. Because they looked nice.
If they're
They looked
Louboutins, they're very
I don't know
expensive.
what the brand. I'm not saying that's what they were. I'm
Well,
just
if they're
saying
red bottoms.
they had red bottoms. And she looked well put together, so she could probably afford it if she was, a person of means. The point is,
Couple thou.
oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. So it got me
600,
wondering,
I think, for like a cheap pair.
do women... No, I'll just ask the question. Who are high heels for? Who are heels for? Are they for women to gain a higher perspective of the world, and they are a status Hollywood sort of sex symbol of walking down the catwalk like a model sort of thing, or are they for men? And have they always just been for
Originally,
men?
they were for men. In
Well,
the
this is, I guess, a question I'm
1600s,
asking you.
17th
Oh,
century.
you know this?
Yeah.
Thank you, Wikipedia.
Kaylapedia will tell you.
Well, I enjoy a high heel.
Well,
and
enjoy this
I,
mead.
I read a lot of Wikipedia, and because I was like looking at old portraits. Honestly, we were talking about old portrait people. I saw this little girl walking by, and I was like, she looks like she belongs in a 1600s painting.
She
like
went off about this
Anyway,
girl.
so I'm just interested in like the fashion of olden times and stuff. And I noticed in a lot of old portraits, a lot of old paintings, like the kings of the time, I think King Henry VIII wore heels and they were like 4 inches tall.
I mean, a heel on a boot.
No. But I mean, these were shoes with heels.
Yes.
Heels were originally made for men. Because they
taller.
needed to be taller, and you're more regal when you're
More
taller,
stately,
and
more
more
command.
stately. And so eventually, it ended up turning into a thing that women would be wearing, and it was honestly I can't remember exactly how that occurred, but it was what fashion changing.
Gaps in her history, sus.
Yeah. Fashion changing, whatever. And then it turned into women wearing the heels, and it was more so that they were because they were less mobile. Like you're not walking around and doing tons of different things. It was more like for fashion.
I don't know this for sure, but I'm
fashion.
guessing when Marco Polo he circumnavigated and he ended up in Asia, that he saw the platform shoes of the geisha, and I think he brought it to Italy as an idea, and they lowered it into the modern heel in Italy. The Italian shoemakers made female shoes that were on a plane so that you stood higher, but it showed the feet of the geisha for display. And
But the geisha shoes were platform
flat.
across
the thing. But this was better. It elevated them, and they took those back and they sold them. This is the truth. This is the real truth of how they were invented. Marco Polo brought the Japanese and Asian cultured flat platform shoe sandal, and they thought, oh, it's an interesting idea to put a heel, and that heel became high heels.
Well, also high heels.
For women specifically.
High heels were specifically for men, though, too, because they were riding horses and they fit into the stirrups.
A heel on a cowboy boot or a riding boot is common, yes. But none of these answer the question, which is...
That's who they're for. They're for men. Basically, they were for men in the beginning. Now women wear them, and women wear them to look good for men.
Okay, that's the question. So
they're for men.
Even though this particular person that I'm referencing in the bank had a job and was successful, she would have used her money to buy these shoes theoretically. And they cost a lot of money based on what you're saying. So
those shoes are for other women.
See what I'm saying? You're saying yes, but someone in the background is also saying yes, no at the same time.
I feel
Do you
like
get that?
women wear specific things because men design most fashion for women.
Okay.
It still is that thing.
Who are
Men
heels
design
for then? Has it become...
to impress people.
Was it initially designed... Okay, so that's a good answer. Was it initially intended to impress and be sexy for men?
Initially,
Is that what you
yes.
think?
Women were supposed to wear a heel
hold on.
to fit into
Let me add a
this,
caveat. Let me finish
the
real quick.
1950s and 60s.
Hold on.
A woman
Stop
wore
your
heels.
roll a second.
Ask a question. I'm going to answer.
I didn't get to finish the question. The question was, who are they for?
Yeah.
Not who wears them, but who... Do women buy them to impress men or to look attractive in them?
I would say wondering, most women wear them to impress other women.
How do we get to the point where a high heel is actually a sex symbol that is attractive to men? Like, where do we get there? You know? How? Like,
because
I'm
originally,
like
I was talking about,
not in ancient culture.
50s and 60s.
Listen, how do we arrive at the heel, though?
50s and 60s.
Okay.
Yes. Male designers were making shoes for women because they wanted to elongate the woman form.
But why?
Because it looked better in their dresses.
I see. So you're saying the fashion of the time called for the heel to be what it is today.
And so that was expected, and as the hemlines grew shorter, the heels grew higher so that you would show more of that leg, and long legs were
okay. So it's really
attractive.
because
when
the
your
whole
foot
thing
is like
was
this, it elongates the leg. It makes it.
I should have added detail to this
add,
question ahead of time so that you would know where I'm trying to go with this, and that is to say that the question should be: does the modern fashion of today and the modern woman of today wear a heel? If they're wearing a heel, are they wearing it for someone else, wearing it because it's impressive to someone else, or both? And I think it is.
It's for someone else.
It's for both.
You wear a heel for someone else, or some women wear a heel because they feel
like. Do you feel sexy when you wear a heel? Do you feel attractive?
Sometimes.
You wear them
if
when you go out. I never see you not in a heel.
If they're comfortable, well, I wear them because they elongate my legs. We've already talked about this in a past episode. Like, what would I do if I changed my body? I would elongate my legs.
Okay.
So I wear a heel because it puts me at the same height as a lot of other people. Like, not the same, but I wear higher heels than I would say most other women do when I go out. When I go out now, I don't see that many women in heels, but I'm generally wearing a heel, and I can be at the same level as them, so I can get the attention of a bartender, or I can get the attention of somebody, and I don't have people literally stepping on me and running me over.
I have known many women, and most of them who go out in heels, which is almost all of them, by the end of the night are ready to throw them in the trash.
Yeah.
They are tired of standing in them, tired of walking in them, tired of being in them.
Yeah.
And I feel like we always kind of grew up. I mean, I grew up in the 80s and 90s and 2000s. And like that idea of like the high heel, like the leg lamp from the Christmas Story movie is always just like a woman's leg in a heel is just kind of like, that's a sexy thing. But what I'm delving deeper into is do I think this because of that imagery, or do I actually think it's an attractive look, or why is it that behind it?
I mean,
like
it is an attractive
psychology
look
behind
because it elongates the feature. If you have a nice leg to begin with, it's going to bring more attention to it because it elongates the foot. It brings you, and it makes you look longer and more lithe and taller. And people generally think that a taller person is more attractive.
I think in
than
our
a
society,
shorter
though,
person.
right?
Women do wear heels, though,
Today?
and they choose specific heels to impress other women. When you go out and you're wearing a pair of heels and another girl goes, oh my God, I love your shoes. Like, you live for that.
So you are being validated for a good choice.
Yeah.
So you would buy a shoe that would be desirable, so you get those comments.
Absolutely.
So just like anything else, like
Yeah,
a man with
like
his car,
or even your clothes, your shirt. Like you buy a cool shirt, and another dude goes, "Hey, dude, cool shirt." LOL. Like you're wearing something.
I've
funny,
literally
or
never
like,
said that.
You've never
Never
said
said that
cool
to anyone?
shirt.
Never said, hey, dude, cool shirt.
Well, you don't say dude.
Correct.
I do say dude though,
to dudes.
No.
and women. Honestly, I do
Hey,
say
dude.
Oh, dude, cool shirt.
Wasn't there a show called Hey
Dude.
Dude on Nickelodeon
Yeah.
that had
Cool
It was right after Salute Your
sneakers,
Shorts.
Man.
Salute Your Shorts?
Yeah.
Hey Dude on
And Pete
Nickelodeon
and Pete.
was
Yeah.
also had Ben Stiller's wife on it at the time, which I had a small crush on her. She played Melanie. I can't remember her name now. Wow, that's going back. But I used to think, wow, she's beautiful. Whoever marries her might be a star. And it's Ben Stiller.
Yeah,
I'm just
Ben
like, what a goof.
Stiller.
That's, Blue steeled her.
Yeah. But
Magnum.
going back to the woman that you saw with the potential Louboutins, those shoes are impressive to a wide variety of people because if you're in the know about that brand, you know how much they cost, which means that you now revere that person as a successful person. It's like wearing designer. It is designer.
I couldn't
so you're
stop
wearing
looking
designer.
at them. I honestly couldn't stop them. They were super shiny and black.
Yeah.
They had a red bottom. And she was wearing like a professional stocking, but it had a line up the back. And I'm just like, this is so much attention about this outfit that she was wearing involved the shoes and that.
Well,
and it was
yeah,
just
when you're
like,
wearing
I just-
expensive shoes like that.
I mean, I'm putting a
because-
caveat in there. Like, I don't typically go out and like ogle around me. I'm standing at the bank, and in the bank it's single file, like behind the thing,
Yeah.
and she's right in front of me, and I'm just noticing the shoes, and I'm just like,
If you're
it
wearing
got
a
me thinking about
showpiece
it.
item, though, you're gonna wear something else to draw
I
attention.
just mean
to
that it
the
got me
showpiece,
thinking
like
about
the line
the-
in the back of the.
she
of
got
the
me
back
thinking
of the
about
tights.
why that she probably built the outfit around the shoes, or
Totally.
that chose the shoes first because
Yeah.
they were such a central part of her look.
Yeah.
And they were so attention grabbing that, like, she of course would, if she had not worn like the crazy line up the back stocking, that it might have almost seemed like less dramatic or enthusiastic or whatever. You
Yeah.
know? But anyway, so
Totally.
heels are for us. They are for men, I guess it turns out, and to quasi impress other women by how impressive your heels are.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I guess I got the answer to that. You don't have anything to say on that, Kevin, do you?
Not really. Other than that, I think women like to wear uncomfortable clothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they'd like to. I don't think my example of every time I've gone out, especially if I've been in a group of women,
A gaggle of women.
they almost always are tearing those things off by the end of the night, and they're holding them in a cab or holding them
And walking down the
Some will even
street
walk in
bare
the street
feet.
like that. Heels to me seem to breed a lot of behavior in women that I don't normally see happen. Like they wouldn't normally walk across the dirty ground of an alleyway, but they'll do it. If
But
their
they're
feet are in.
drunk usually when that happens as
It
well.
does
because
lubricate.
I have been
Choices.
not intoxicated and absolutely dying in my heels, and I leave them on. However, if I've had a few drinks, I might take them off and walk across a potentially needle-strewn, patch
of
of
ground.
cement. Yeah. Ooh,
Yeah.
patch of ground, patch of cement. Interesting.
That requires you to take a drink. Well, let us know what you guys think in the comments. I mean, we've talked about everything from cereal to what are you putting underneath your fingernails to which animal in the wild kingdom are you letting bite off your arm. I think heels are for men. They may be a thing of history. I do like them.
I know men who don't, though.
Yeah, and that's
like
the thing.
they think
I have
that
heard
women
that.
who walk around in them look like wounded deer, and they would just rather not. But honestly, those men that have told me that were on the shorter side.
So it makes a woman
So
taller.
maybe that's what,
High heels are for everyone.
High heels
High
are
heels
for
are for
everyone.
everyone.
High heels are for the people.
Just like the Exciting Whites. Guys, this is going to do it for this episode of the Exciting Whites podcast. I have enjoyed this Oliver Winery Camelot Mead
I
a
have
lot
too.
more than I thought I would. I expected to
Yeah.
have more of a gut-rotty situation
I don't
from it.
have that yet.
This actually is a sweet wine paired with charcuterie board or a goat cheese would be. It makes me almost want that
I
now that
want
they've
that
suggested
now.
it. I think Oliver's done a good job of recognizing where this could be paired inside the wine world, where mead may not necessarily find its self.
Itself.
What do you
yes.
think?
I agree. I really do want a charcuterie board
Yeah.
now. I feel like it would go with something, but honestly, I would love to have this with some Indian food.
Oh, that could be good. Something spicy and it has a little bit of a malty, not malty, but a caramelish heaviness, a oilish to it, the top of it, and I think that
does
would
it.
null the spice of an Indian.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
So a suggestion, Oliver, consider some ethnic food pairings, spicy ethnic food pairings, probably not Latino or Hispanic foods. I would think it wouldn't go well with that.
I
It's not that
mean,
kind of, but it is good, I
no.
think, at malting a curry spice.
I just think a curry would be
Yeah, it would be
delicious
really good.
with this. Yeah. Or like, what you've already said. I mean, it does suggest the goat cheese. And I think a delicious goat cheese.
This gets like 7 Kalins,
included.
right? How many Kalins does this bottle get? you think?
Well, I feel like, what would you say the last bottle was? How many Kalins was that? That was like a
I don't
10
know.
Kalins, I think.
It could be a year between episodes. I don't remember. I'm not going to rate it. I'll look at previous episodes and rate the bottle.
I would say this one's
privately.
probably
I
like
can't do it right
5 Kalins,
Oh, this
meaning
is 5
like,
Kalins.
I don't feel like I'm out of control.
Is it a 1 through 10 scale, or what are you thinking?
Well, this doesn't mean that it's like 5 stars. I'm
This
just
is a
saying
new
this
thing.
is
I'm
5
just saying
Kalins.
if there's a Kalin rating, like a private Kalin rating,
Yeah.
I think it should go to 10.
It should go to 10. I feel like last week's I was a little like, woo, and that would be 10 Kalins, like 10 amounts
I
of
just mean what you're
Kalins.
rating the wine at, not not how drunk you are and how many Kalins you would
Oh, that's
apply
what
your
I was
drunk-
rating it as, is how drunk I was. And I don't feel like I'm quite at that level. This one is a 10% ABV. I do feel great. It was delicious. It is delicious. I haven't finished this glass yet. One moment, please.
Finish the glass.
I feel like
Finish it
this
now.
is like a 7 Kalins.
7 Kalins, all right.
Yeah.
That's going to do it for us, guys. We appreciate you watching so much. And let us know what you think about the show. Have a good one. Take care.
Bye.